And it is a depressing week in the game news. Let's get to this awkward episode. Let's kick it off with some fun stuff. We have F-099 is updated as of a few minutes ago at the time of this recording. Queen League has been added to Grand Prix mode and 5 additional tracks, including Port Town 1 and Red Canyon 1. I believe this has been data mined and people knew they were adding the Queen and I think it's King Leagues, which makes sense. I mean, it's like chess pieces and royalty and all that. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. I love playing this. I hope it sticks around a little longer. I'd like to see them add the Satellaview F-Zero tracks, which weren't released outside of Japan, I believe. You could play them in like ROMs and stuff, but this would, this is just kind of getting everyone's expectations that everything from the Super Nintendo era F-Zero will be added to this, and I'm here for it. I think it'll be awesome. All right, some other cool news. We got yesterday Counter-Strike 2 officially released. It completely replaces Counter-Strike Go, CS:GO. The trailer was pretty neat. I don't know if anybody wants to watch it, but I watched it earlier and it didn't wow me. I liked Counter-Strike back in the Counter-Strike Source days. I am very out of touch with the Counter-Strike scene. But Counter-Strike 2 being launched is pretty significant because Valve has supported this game for a long time. It is extremely popular, and this looks fun. I may download it and check it out. It's free to play. You can download it and play it, and I believe the specs are pretty light. It can run on just about everything, which it needs to, because it needs to be able to hit 60 frames per second pretty consistently on just about every machine that exists. So, Counter-Strike 2, check it out. All right, first bit of bad news. We've got FTC resumes the fight against Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. This happened yesterday. This article comes out from TechRaptor by Giuseppe Nelva. Thank you for writing this. The FTC has resumed its administrative case against the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. They want to bring the matter back to court and try to block Microsoft, but it doesn't matter, according to this article anyway. The acquisition can still go through, and then the FTC would have to change their tactics to dissolving the companies up or breaking it up, kind of like they did AT&T, Bell South back in the 80s. I don't know, it's before like everybody's time that's watching this. But anyway, when companies get too big, the FTC can like step in and break things up, which is a concern here for a lot of people. I'm just ready for this to be over. I want Call of Duty on Game Pass and World of Warcraft on Xbox. There. I won't even play World of Warcraft, but put it on Xbox. Why not? But yeah, it's taken long enough. People don't want this to happen. I don't know why, because Activision has been running itself into the ground, and Microsoft might be the least bad option for a company that could come in and like take it over, especially since the alternatives, the only other big enough companies that could actually step in, might make things worse for everybody. And I like Xbox over other consoles, but I'm not so much of a fanboy to be blind to what Microsoft does. There could be studios that are shut down. There could be could be games that are just not supported all of a sudden. There's a lot that could go wrong. Pint didn't recognize me with the glasses. Hey, welcome in. But, I think with Xbox acquiring Activision, it's a good deal. It's good for Call of Duty. It's good for gamers. Because having Call of Duty in the cloud and Game Pass would be a huge win, and you can't convince me otherwise. But, this is going to be dragged out as long as legally possible, although it looks like it may come to a close. I'm hoping this gets dismissed completely. Anyway, let's move on to some good news. Sonic Frontiers, The Final Horizon update dropped officially now. It should be out. Let's watch this trailer really quick. It's very short. I think this shows gameplay. This may be really loud.
You need to ascend the 4 towers of the Masters.
I don't know if it's too loud.
They are memorials to the pilots who gave their lives to save the world. Find them.
This looks great.
I need you 3 to find the Chaos Emeralds. while I take care of something else.
I'm actually kind of pumped for more cyberspace levels because they're really fun. They're really fun platforming challenges.
I won't give up.
And then I like that we get to play as Amy, Tails, and Knuckles because their movesets look really fun. Also, can we talk about the absolute banger of a track in this trailer?
Distortion's defensive measures. In other words, keep smashing things.
I like the direct approach.
Knuckles is gonna be fun. Just punch everything. But the music here is awesome.
Will be grueling, and we will have precious little time.
So yeah, this looks awesome. It's out for free. Free update to Sonic Frontiers, and I am very, very pumped for it. If you haven't played Sonic Frontiers, it's probably the best 3D Sonic game to have come out in a very long time, and I've enjoyed it. I still need to finish the main story. I was playing it over the weekend a little bit. I've just been taking my time. It's a very fun game. Imagine what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda. That's what this is for Sonic. It's just open world platforming with small platforming challenges thrown in, and it's super fun. So anyway, yeah, this update is out and worth getting. All right, let's get to some sad news. SEGA Forever games are being delisted from iOS and Android. SEGA Forever was a program and kind of marketing thing that shared like history of SEGA via social media accounts with like beta footage and concept art and tidbits and trivia. Very cool accounts if you like SEGA stuff. I had a Genesis as a kid. I was naturally drawn to this account, or these accounts. I followed them just about everywhere. Sadly, they haven't been updated. They haven't posted since like August, I think. Maybe older than that. But the second half of that was the idea became SEGA was going to put a bunch of their classic games on mobile, ad supported, so you get to play them without having to pay money. You just have an ad like between levels and stuff. Wasn't the best approach, but it was a free way to play like the mobile ports of Sonic 1 and 2 and Sonic CD. Along with a bunch of other SEGA games they had put, with the promise of releasing a ton more games through this program. And it seems that this whole thing has just come to a head. I would attribute this to there's just not enough people playing these games anymore, especially with Sonic Origins being out. Nobody's going to play the mobile Sonic games because the console versions are the same game but better. And then, you know, it's just how many times can you play some of these old games before going, yeah, okay, I may play it in like a year or 6 months. You know, I'm not going to keep it on my phone and just keep coming back to it over and over. And I just think that's where it is. It feels like it's run its course. So SEGA Forever actually wasn't forever, and that's sad. But anyway, Time Extension's a really cool site. I recommend checking them out for all your like retro gaming related news. I've come to like them a lot more recently. So thanks for the article, Time Extension. And yeah, let's move on. Some interesting news. Horizon Forbidden West is coming to PC early next year. This isn't a surprise to anybody. PlayStation has said they want more games on PC. Horizon Zero Dawn did really well on PC when it launched. So Forbidden West only makes sense. And I believe it's going to be like the complete edition. Yeah, the complete edition of the game will also be launching on the PS5 in October. This looks like it'll come out next year on PC, which is cool. I mean, if you don't plan on picking up a PlayStation, it's just comforting to know that some of the best games, some of the best games are available on PC if you want them. Tricky says you just have to have a good PC to run Forbidden West. Yeah, I don't know if the specs have been released, but I would imagine since it was a PS4 game as well, you could get, PS4 equivalent visuals fairly inexpensively now. But I mean, it's just depending on what you have. And more options for people to play these games is great because that means studios are more willing to invest in the IPs themselves. But yeah, no surprise there. Really cool. All right, let's get to some weirdly, and I don't know if this is bad. It is kind of bad news. Fortnite V-Bucks is courtesy of IGN, increasing in price in the US and in other territories and regions around the globe. They're increasing from about 12 to 15% per bundle, and inflation. So I don't like commenting on politics, but it's hard to avoid sometimes. And honestly, things are getting expensive, and the cost of hosting and electricity and everything else will just keep going up unless something is done. And this is the result. It's finally starting to hit gamer wallets. So your V-Bucks now cost more. You know, don't steal your dad's credit card or he will beat you probably. At least that's what would have happened to me if I did that as a kid. I would have gotten hit a lot. But anyway, you know, it's just kind of disappointing to see because it's all virtual stuff. And I even as a longtime gamer, buying just skins and stuff, I can get excited about the way they look. But when it comes time to like pay up, I'm like, is it worth $10? Probably not. Now I'm going to be asking myself, is it worth $12? Probably not. You know, but it makes sense. And then, okay, so speaking of Epic and Fortnite and all of that, Epic is laying off around 830 employees. Quoted in this memo saying, "We've been spending way more money than we earn." It's a bummer. I hate talking about layoffs. It's always no, it's no good because I feel like Fortnite fell off for a little while and then kind of came back, but it's been a pretty steady moneymaker as the devs try to innovate and keep people playing their game. I hate to see what happens. I hope everyone affected lands on their feet. Whether or not that's a total exit from the gaming industry or they, you know, find something else. I'm sure it's not just developers. It's, you know, across the workforce. This is a bummer. I mean, Epic has been doing some things that have cost them a lot of money. Apparently, one of the teams hit really hard were the Fall Guys team, which is hugely disappointing because I don't play it a lot on stream, but I do love Fall Guys. I love the concept, and just getting together with people and playing is super fun. So I hate seeing this because it not only affects people's lives, but, you know, it affects the games that people are spending time on. It affects, you know, Epic themselves is admitted, like CEO Tim Sweeney is saying in this memo, like, hey, we just can't afford to keep everything running. So going back to the V-Bucks increase, I mean, things are getting expensive. And so, you know, at the end of the day, if people are spending less on microtransactions and battle passes, it's harder to justify keeping those teams as big as they are. And so this is what happens, and it's terrible, and I hate it. Not everyone gets to keep their job. But again, maybe they find something better. Maybe they start new studios that produce better games, you know, that get bought up by Epic or something. I don't know. That would be just irony. But anyway, bummer. Again, I hope all of the employees that are affected land on their feet, find a better job, and come out way ahead than what they were at Epic. Yikes, though. Yikes. All right, let's get to our biggest story. Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, announces retirement after 30 years. So dude has been around a while, current CEO. He's stepping down in April 2024, April 1st, 2024. So could be an April Fool's joke. He could just be yanking our chains, just getting it in early. No, I think he's done. He apparently is quoted as saying, well, in this, just traveling. Well, actually, he's not. Okay, that's not here. I read it somewhere. But basically, his family lives in the UK. No, here it is. I can read. His home's in the UK and his job's in the US, and he's having to travel a lot and just balancing that. Yeah, I get it. I didn't like commuting 2 hours a day, you know, for a job because I felt like I had no time with my family. I couldn't imagine dealing with this. Hopefully, you know, he enjoys retirement or whatever he's got next up. But, you know, he's been with Sony pretty much since the beginning. And that's awesome. Like, it's cool to see, you know, he went from, I believe, just a, like, developer, you know, entry-level employee. I really don't know. Don't know the guy's history. Don't quote me. Don't shoot me in the comments. Or do. I don't care. But, you know, went all the way up to CEO of Sony, and that's awesome. Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now they have a replacement or interim CEO, Hiroki Totoki, and then they will be finding a more permanent solution at some point. But, hey, you know, good on Jim Ryan. I mean, some of the best years of PlayStation have been in the last 10. best games have been put out. Thank you, Pint, for those water gun emoji. But anyway, yeah, so good on him. Hope you enjoy either. If it's just full on retirement, enjoy it. If it's some other job that brings you closer to home, enjoy that too. All the best. All right, and then final story. I just want people's opinions on this because I have thoughts. iPhone 15 Pro users will pay full console price for Resident Evil 4 remake. This comes from The Verge. $60 for a game on your iPhone. Granted, you could play it on your Apple TV natively, probably, eventually. Not yet. You could cast it, I'm sure. Or use your USB-C port on your iPhone 15 to hook it up to an HDMI and then, play it on your TV natively. I'm not surprised. This is a full game. They straight up said AAA gaming was coming to iPhone. I wouldn't play Resident Evil 4 now. I did in the past, but it goes against my whole family-friendly vibes, obviously. But it's just an example of what to expect. I mean, you'll be paying full console price for some of these games. Resident Evil Village apparently will also be on iPhone 15 Pro and M1-powered iPads on October 30th for $40. I mean, why do I play a game on a screen so itty-bitty? Because it looks fantastic. But I think this is just Apple's big push to be more apparent in the gaming market, because they've been in the gaming market. Mobile games are huge, and you could say mobile gaming is not real gaming all you want. It's gaming, and people are paying money to play mobile games and watching ads and making companies tons of money. So Apple putting AAA games here, it just makes sense. I'm not surprised they're full price. It's going to be weird if you go and buy this game and it's like you paid $2 for, Angry Birds or whatever, and then you pay $60 for Resident Evil 4 remake, Mobile gaming isn't gaming. There, I said it. Look, Pint, you can have your opinion, but I can play Assassin's Creed Mirage on an iPhone 15 Pro or an iPad, and it's the full game, and it looks and runs pretty well. That's my assumption anyway. The game isn't out yet. I don't know. I don't have insider information yet. But anyway, well, that does it for the game news. I don't know how you guys feel about paying a lot for mobile games, but I would feel weird, I would feel weird. Now, if they release a new Apple TV with the iPhone 15 Pro chip or an M1 Apple TV, M2 Apple TV, that would make sense. Have some native Apple updated silicon running. Then it's just a full-on streaming console situation. You can just play whatever on it, Down with Candy Crush. Hey, if Microsoft gets it, it probably will go away. I don't know that. I'm just making jokes. But anyway, that does it for this week's episode of Game News Show. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry this video is up 2 days later than it should be, but life, it happens. Let's move on. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm shooting for 1,000 followers, and then leave a like, comment. Do whatever you feel led to do at the end of this video, including watching an older Game News Show, because you might have missed something that I may have referenced this episode. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go play video games on Twitch now. See ya.